Hello guys, today we're going to learn about the conditionals. Remember that we have four kinds of conditionals. The first one is a zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. Well, we also have the mixed conditional that in that case we can mix these conditionals, but that's for the next class. So we're going to start with the zero conditional. This is a review about these conditionals because we have seen them before, and it's pretty easy. Well, in my opinion, conditionals are one of the most easier topics to learn. So let's start with the zero conditional. Remember that we use the zero conditional to talk about things that are always or generally true. And in this case, remember that when we talk about conditionals, we use the conditional if. So we use two sentences, the if conditional and the main conditional. And in this case, in the case of the zero conditional, we can use if or when in our if clause, and it is written in present simple. If you murder someone or when you murder someone, comma, you go to prison. In this case, you go to prison is my main clause and also is expressed in present simple. Remember that when we start with the if clause, after my if clause we write a comma and then is the main clause. But remember that we can also change positions and we can start with the main clause. I can say you go to prison if or when you murder someone, but when we do this, we take off this comma. Like this one, plainclothes policemen are not easily recognizable if or when they are out on the streets. In this case, if or when they are out on the streets is my if clause, and we started with, this is my if clause and we started with our main clause. So that's, we don't have a comma here. So that's pretty easy. Zero conditional is to talk about things that are always or generally true. Both sentences, if and main clause, are expressed in present simple, and we can change the if for a when. Let's start with the first conditional. Remember that the first conditional is to talk about something that is possible in the present or in the future. In the case of the first conditional, or if clause is expressed in present simple, but our main clause is in future simple. And also we divided these sentences by a comma. If they arrest you for fraud, you'll do time. If you don't want to get robbed, lock your doors. And also we can change positions. We can say you'll do time if they arrest you for fraud, and we take off the comma. Now let's go on with the second conditional. Remember that the second conditional is used to talk about things that are impossible or unlikely to happen in the present or the future, to talk about impossible things, and we also use it to talk about advices, to give advices. And remember that when we give an advice using the second conditional, we use it with the phrase if I were you. Remember that in this case we use were for all the subjects. Okay, in the case of the second conditional, or if clause is in past simple, then we have the comma, and our main clause is with would, subject would, verb infinitive, and the complement. If I were a famous detective, comma, I would catch all the bad guys. And also we can change positions. I would catch all the bad guys if I were a famous detective. But remember that we take off the comma when we change positions. Now let's go with the third conditional. The third conditional is easy because we use it to talk about things that happened in the past that were possible. No. Now let's go on with the third conditional. In the case of the third conditional, we use it to talk about things that were possible in the past but didn't happen. For example, this: they wouldn't have caught the criminal if he hadn't left a murder weapon on his For example, this one: they wouldn't have caught the criminal if he hadn't left the murder weapon in his car. That means that it happened the opposite to this. They caught the criminal because he left the murder weapon in his car. In this case, we are using past perfect simple in the if clause. Remember that the past perfect simple is formed with had, perfect past participle, and complement. If he hadn't left the murder weapon in his car. And we use could or would have in the main clause. That means that we are using present perfect simple and would. So they wouldn't have caught the criminal. So I use would have, that is my auxiliary for the present perfect simple, and my verb in past participle. So that's it. Remember that zero conditional is to talk about things that are always or generally true. First conditional, things that are possible to happen in present or future. Second conditional is to talk about impossible things or things unlikely to happen in the present or future, and also to give advice. And third conditional is used to talk about things that were possible to happen but they didn't. Okay, that's it for today. See you next class, guys. Bye.